Okay, so obligations on me to ensure that I add my voice to the current conversation in my home state, Edo State, especially as regards the Uromi Edo Central situation, where a group of boys from the north of Nigeria, for specificity purposes, right, were apprehended as they journey through Edo State, Uromi to be precise. And the story that came out was that they were alleged to have been kidnappers, and people said they saw ransom monies, huge figures, and they saw them with all forms of weapons. And that's how the story broke out. And some of us may have hastily also judged. But again, for me, jungle justice doesn't work it. And I was a bit not so comfortable, but it's so I just let it slide. But recent reports and reactions that have now followed up that story, including my own personal investigations, speaking with a few family and friends who are in Uromi, shows that there's a problem. First, a few persons I spoke to can confirm that there are no grounds to have called those people kidnappers, even if it is possible, but there are no grounds because the weapons that were seen with them were locally made guns, double barrels, usually used for hunting, including hoes and other basic hunting and farming implements, so to speak. And then also they confirmed that the driver of the lorry was rude to the boys, by the way, because the thing is quite complicating. Because first, this has been the modus operandi of transporting some notorious criminals across states, and we've complained severely that the Nigerian police, the Nigerian army, they are not helping to actually ascertain the safety of societies where these guys are transported to from one end to another. And so these boys probably working on that particular mindset that has been on the ground for a while took it a bit personal this time to ensure that they go against the law, and that must be said at this point. Well, so I can say for now that pending all police investigations, it's funny how I said that, but of course the law empowers them to investigate crimes like this. So we hear that the guys have been arrested, the perpetrators that led the assault and the jungle justice on these guys. I can't even call them innocent now, but then it is. But here is what we can learn from this. There have been several instances where Nigerians from across in various states have complained that the transportation of these guys with weapons, some of them homeless, some of them without identity, across board. Some of them cannot even speak English, but they are being transported in their tens and hundreds and sometimes even thousands. As somebody that lived in Edo State for a while, I stayed in Aduawa, I stayed in Idokpa. Idokpa is before the bypass if you are coming in from Auchi, Ekpomai or Hazi. So I saw all of this firsthand, how these guys are heaped into Dangote's lorries, and then they are taken. Sometimes in no distant time, you see the guy that used to sell watermelon in your junction that has 4 brothers who has joined him, and then after a while they all shift to having watermelon. Good, of course, it's our country, everybody could have, but the fact that these guys are undocumented, they cannot be verified, and at any point, also some of this may just be also be ways where some of these guys are now also be transported into committing crimes in various parts of the country. And of course, again, there have been very many instances where Nigerians have complained that herdsmen or some of these guys from the north of Nigeria has committed crimes and they were arrested, but the police would release them without due course, without due process. At least there was one that I got involved in. I was very well. And this happened even in GRA. And then before we came back the next day, the police DPO had released them and said that one of their uncles came. I cannot forget, not so long before I traveled, when a keke rider hit me. And then we took the person to the police station, and then the next day I came, we were going to start to be confronted with all forms of situation. The union, the brothers have come and they said that we were the one that while we were holding him not to run, that we refunded him, and they were going to take it all serious on me and my friends. It took calling some other influences in the state police command to have quenched them from us becoming the attackers, so to speak. And at the end of the day, of course, the matter was settled amicably, but it was because of that other intervention. So there have been several instances where people say they arrest these guys or they hold them for certain crimes or they allege, and the police release them for no reason. Sometimes people are scared and all of that. The several crimes that have gone on. So we must create the balance. While we want to blame, one way to curbing future occurrences of jungle justice method on innocent Nigerians doing about their legitimate business is that the Nigerian police force must stand up to doing his job and doing it effectively and efficiently. Because if they will keep being stories of people being released without due process, if some crimes not being investigated, you will see people get on to take laws into their hands to deal with cases. And you don't want to have a society where people do not trust the rule of law, they don't follow due process, they don't agree that there are ways things should be done, and that is even worse than a banana republic. So it's unfortunate. The death would have been avoidable. Sorry for the losses, for the families and friends of people that may have been, that lose their life in all of this. It's something that we all keep crying for. We, as a people, we must agree that there should be a limit to some of this nonsense, right? Why the people must do better. Government institutions and systems must sit up to doing their job and doing it without fear or favor. I'm not joking. So that is the only way we can have a sane society where everybody begin to follow. Now people are saying now, oh, you can arrest these guys now, Uromi guys are going to be prosecuted. But there have been several instances where we have asked that crimes like this, crime XYZ should be prosecuted. But because these people have brothers and sisters in various you cannot do anything to them. And a set of army officers, 4 of them went to refund somebody. We were trying to investigate the matter, and then somebody said, "Nah, not as there's nothing you can do about it." And we must not get to a point to agree that there are no special citizens in Nigeria. That's the only way we can have all of this. If there should be a level playing ground, everybody that commits crime should go in for it, right? Again, and I also want to beg Nigerians, we are all in this mess together. Yes, I know that a few things. Let's not, because what Peter did yesterday, we're going to use it to attack Paul today. We must put voice of reason. It's unfortunate, very unfortunate, that all of this would have been avoidable. And please, we don't want to have a society where innocent persons are being burnt alive for no reason. And we can't get there. We can't get to where we are going to like that. Please, let the rule of law take its course. And we hope that we learn from these lessons and we don't get into this situation again. I'll catch you at the time. Bye for now.